What you guys should be needing is about at least 3 to 4 sheets of white paper, preferably. Like any size white printer paper would be perfect. Please be aware what surface you're going to be drawing on. I use a clipboard just so I can protect my tablecloth, just in case the ink bleeds through. Because the next necessity item you're going to be needing is a non-smear black or blue ink pen, like a Sharpie, which is what I'm going to be using today. And also something to color with. I suggest to try to gather as many materials as possible. Like I have a box of crayons I brought. I have some color pencils and then I also have a couple pens on the side. Another optional material you can use is colored paper. So you can see on the side of color paper, and you would also want scissors and glue. And if you don't have glue, tape is also perfectly fine. Yeah, so if everyone has all of those, maybe I'll give them about until 2 more minutes, I think, or unless you want to get started. So while you guys are gathering those materials, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction of myself and what we're going to be doing today. So I know you can only see my hands, but hi friends. My name's Christina Liu. I'm a senior from University High School. So if you have any questions about school or anything, feel free to contact me after this meeting. So what we're going to be doing today is called a blind portrait art. Now I was making a sample for you guys, and it's going to look a little something like this. So what we're going to be doing today is basically a abstract, very impressionism-like line art. And so what I really want to focus on today is that it's okay to make mistakes when you are first stepping out of your comfort zone, because what we're learning today is trying to really learn and love the process of creating rather than the result after. So we're also going to be also using some mixed media. So like I use some pens here, I use some paper here, that's optional. Some color pencils. Yeah. So again, we're not going for perfection, but we're learning and enjoying the process of creating art. Alrighty. Also, I can't really see if you're typing. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but Lisa says we're putting a recording on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, feel free just to send us an email and ask for the link. All right. So for our warm-up, you're going to be needing a sheet of paper. I just want to get you guys kind of used to the feeling of what it's like drawing with ink. No eraser. That's the challenge here today. No eraser, only ink and a piece of paper. So what we're first going to be doing today is learning how to draw blindly. So what I want you to do, anywhere on your sheet of paper, this is your warm-up paper, you can mess it up as much as you like, doodle on it. We want to try drawing a smiley face, eyes open, smiley face, simple. It's 2 dots, smile, and make sure you put a circle around that guy. Look at him, he's so cute. Right? Now, you see the smiley face, right? You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Fred. He's cute. Fred's cute. Now, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be drawing blindly. So I know this may seem kind of scary at first, but we're going to be closing our eyes, and we're going to try to draw the same exact smiley face. That has to be closing your eyes. So right now, I want to you guys put your pen near your paper, close your eyes, closing my eyes, and then I'm going to try to draw the same exact Fred as the best as I can. Okay, now open your eyes. Fred doesn't exactly look the same as his twin brother, doesn't he? See, it looks a little different. And that's the whole point of today. That, yeah, it may not look perfect, but hey, we're still trying to learn the process of creating. So now you can try to draw your Fred as many times as you want. You can try to, I don't know, maybe practice a little bit if you want to just close your eyes, draw simple shapes like triangles or circles. I'm closing my eyes right now. I can't see what I'm doing. Rectangles, like I said, not perfect. But if you want to just do that for a couple seconds, go for it. Draw a couple more smiley faces and stars. Yeah. So that's going to be our little warm-up, because our next step is going to learn how to draw faces. So if you want to use the same sheet, that's totally fine if you have space. If you want to go on new sheet, feel free. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So it's okay. Like I said, you have to have no experience with art whatsoever before this lesson. So first off, we have to ask ourselves, what's on a face, right? Like, we see it all the time. We see it in the mirror. We see it in our parents. We see it everywhere. But we have to really ask ourselves, what's on a face? Well, obviously, a couple things, right? We have eyes. We have ears. We have noses, eyebrows, and mouth. That's going to be on a face. However, the difference is, with a portrait, we have to also draw our hair and also our neck and our shoulders, as well as a background. We can get into that stuff later. Right now, we're going to focus on how to draw a face. So, faces, they come in all different shapes and sizes. It's really, really fun, but let's go with something simple. So, anywhere on your page, eyes open, you can just draw a circle, draw an oval, any circle. And then for now, like I said, what was on a face? So eyes. When I draw eyes, I like to draw them like almond shapes, right? Because most people have almond-shaped eyes. Some people have little thinner, little thicker. You know, it depends. Most important thing about eyes, it's going to look a little scary, but we also have to draw the irises in the eyes, right? Ta-da! Eyes. Looks a little scary, but don't worry. And next step, we're going to be drawing our noses. So the thing about noses, here, I'm going to show my face. Okay, so you have your eyes right here, right? And the cool thing in art about noses is that usually right in the middle between your eyes, right? So you want to draw your nose where it's like near the two inner corners of your eyelids. So what we're going to be doing is going from one inner corner, going down and drawing our nose. And the best thing about noses is that they can come in any shape or size. Some people, like I do, have a little bit more squarish, a little bit more roundish noses, but some people also have noses that are straight and angular, like that, you know? So since this is a self-portrait, I want you guys to try to practice drawing your noses. So think about what you look like. All of you are beautiful. Don't say anything otherwise. All noses can be different. All faces are different. So noses can be round, triangular, straight, and square. Yeah, but for now, since I'm drawing myself, I'm going to draw a little round nose. Can everyone see okay? Thumbs up if you can't. Thumbs up if you can. You can't. Am I going too fast? Everyone getting okay? Yeah? Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Now, my little drawn self looks a little weird, right? Obviously, it's missing a couple things. Let's go with lips next. So, like I said, there's always a little bit of space between the nose and the lips. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So when you draw your person, you always have to make sure there's a little bit of space between the nose and the lips. So let's draw my lips. So the way I draw lips is I draw a M, and then I connect the two points like that, and then I just do a curve. Lips. Lips can be thick, like this one, or they can be thin. If you want to draw thinner lips, you just have to draw a much wider M, and then just a thinner curve at the bottom. So for my lips, I would say I have okay lips. Thick lips, I guess. M, curve. Everyone good? Following along? For the ones who can't see, if you want to type in the chat if I need to go into any more description, or if you would want more detail or more explanation somewhere, I'm more than happy to do so. All right, so the next two things we're going to be drawing is the ears and the eyebrows. Let's go with the easier route. Eyebrows are really, really simple to draw. Eyebrows, they can, like lips, they can be thick or thin, right? So you can draw eyebrows like a simple arc, like that. It's like you're kind of drawing an M, but you stop halfway, right? And the cool thing about eyebrows, if you want to draw thin eyebrows, you can only draw a line. But if you want thick eyebrows, you can simply just kind of copy at the bottom. So make a line at the bottom here, and then just copy the same movement you did and connect all lines, like that. So my eyebrows, I have pretty bushy eyebrows. So thing about eyebrows, right? You want to try to make the curve near the, like, 3/4 of the eye. So it'd be like kind of angular like that. I'm sure some of you guys have already drawn faces before, but just a tip. So for down here, I'm going to be drawing my eyes, brows, my eyebrows. They're going to look really funky, but that's okay because we're not going for perfection. Now, for the next and last step of your face, you're going to be wanting to draw ears. So ears, you can draw so many different, there's so many different ways to draw ears. A really simple way is to draw a backwards C. It can be big, it can be, since ears are also different, you can make it a fat-looking C, you can make it into a skinny-looking C. You can make it into a different shaped C-ish, if that's what you want to, if that's how you think your ear looks. But simply, I just draw a backwards C, and then I put a L in the middle. Because that's like, you know how our ears, if you look at it, they have all those little curves and stuff? The way to simplify that is just to put an L in the middle. See? Look, we have our ears. Look how cute they are. Now again, I just want to reiterate, this is a self-portrait. So you should be trying to draw features of your own self. But again, if you're not comfortable with drawing yourself and you want to draw someone else for someone else, feel free to do so. So I'm going to add ears to my person. Now ears, when we look at our faces, the tops of our ears are in line with their eyes. Have you guys ever noticed that? They're like in line with their eyes. And then the bottom of our ears are like in line with our noses, right? So we want to try to put our ears in the middle, in that like section of our face. Does that make sense? So if we're gonna add it down here, so my eyes are right here, my noses are right here, then we're gonna add an ear right in the middle. And then backward C, and then put an L in the middle. Look at that. We have our ears. Now, I talked about this before, but drawing a face is not the only thing that goes into a self-portrait. A self-portrait is including your face, your hair, and from shoulders all the way to the neck, right? Shoulders, because a portrait is to frame from shoulders up. So that's like right here, right? So we also want to include our necks and just a little bit of our shoulders and also our awesome hair. Some of you guys can have long straight hair. Some of you guys can have kinky curly hair, and that's totally fine. And also, if you guys want to go to more, I guess, advanced level, you can also draw a background. But once again, this is just warm up. So for me, I have pretty straight, short hair. So I guess I have a middle part. So I guess I'm just gonna, simple lines, guys, or simple curls, nothing too fancy. We just want to get down to the basics, right? I have like short hair. And then once you have your hair, you can also draw your neck. So for the neck, what I like to do is kind of, I don't want my neck to be too thin or else my head is just going to fall off, right? We don't want that. So we want to draw a pretty strong neck. It could be, I just try to go for the middle of my face and then just draw a line down. And then for the shoulders, you just kind of go to the other direction, and then put a little curve at the end. All right. So, and now you basically have your self-portrait. But, like I said, this is a warm-up. We're going to try to take this to the next step, which is going to be pretty fun. So, if you have a new sheet of paper, I hope you can take that out. Or if you guys want to practice drawing some features, that's totally up to you. Because this one, the next step we're going to be taking is a little slow. So, oops. Okay. Hold on here. It's a little messy, but it's okay. So if you have your clean sheet of paper, not like mine, I want you to fold it taco style. So fold it in half. Right? Or is it hot dog? I think it's taco style. So it's like, it opens like that. Okay. Now I want you to open it like it's a birthday card. Open it. And I want you to only draw on one side of it first. Right? So from what you were practicing when we were just learning about how to draw faces, I want you to draw, doesn't have to be perfect, again, just quick sketch, simple lines, a face or your self-portrait right here, right? And then on the next side, like we did with our smiley faces, we're going to be drawing blindly. But before you guys start, when you draw your self-portrait on this side, your challenge is you can't ever lift your pencil whatsoever, whether there's like ninjas attacking your house or something, or you're like in a part of the, I don't know, like secret agent spy like comes into your house. You can't ever lift your pencil no matter what, okay? So I usually like to do, if I'm drawing myself, is that I like to start with my eye. So remember how our eyes, when we draw our almond shape, and then we also drew the circle inside of it to represent the iris? I always start with the iris because that's easy. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be, oh, I lifted my pencil. I broke the number one rule, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. So when I start with my eye, and then I just curve, oops, that's not perfect either, but that's okay. Then I go down to my nose, and then I draw my second eye. Remember, do not lift your pencil whatsoever. And then after that, I like to draw the face shape. And then I like to draw my ears after. I'm still using the same practices we did, right? For the lips, I draw an M, and then I do a curve at the bottom. And then for my ears, backward C, and then I draw an L in the middle. And then eyebrows, small arc. Oops. And remember, you can try to go as free-flowing as possible, right? Don't try to make super angular lines. Try to make them as flowing as possible. And then for hair, remember I have short, straight hair. And then my neck, shoulders, neck, and then more hair. So when you're drawing in one line, we want to try to be as strategic as possible, right? Because we want to try to make it look like ourselves, but still never lift your pencil from the page, right? So go ahead and take your time doing that. Like I said, perfection is not what we're going here. It's a process and learning how to do it. For those of you who have your cameras on, can I see what you have so far after you're done? And remember, it's okay to go slow, right? This may be a first for many of you, and that's totally, totally fine. Take your time, go slow. There is no rush, right? It's not a competition. The only winner is always and only going to be you. So take your time, draw what you think looks like you. And remember, try to implement the practices we were doing in the warm-up. I'm gonna jazz a little bit for you guys to finish on that. Go ahead and give me a quick thumbs up if you're done. Because we still have to go to our second part of the last part of our warm-up before we go into our official portrait. Is everyone doing okay? Should I move on? Are we good? Yeah? Okay, cool. Now, just like what you did here, where you were drawing your face without lifting your pencil or pen, you're going to be doing the same here, but this time with your eyes closed. Okay? Now, couple tips, reminders I want to give you guys. Try to draw big and bold. Don't try to put your face right in the middle and make it all small. You want to try to fill the page as much as possible, like I did here, right? I filled the page as much as possible, which is what you're trying to go for. Try to explore a little bit outside of your comfort zone. I know it may be the first for some of you, and you've never drawn like this before, but, try to embrace that, being in a new experience. All right. And also, no perfection, we're just doing our best, right? Personal best. Okay. So, we're going to put our pen near our paper. We're going to close our eyes, and we're going to say to ourselves, we are awesome, we can do this, and we are beautiful. All right, I'm closing my eyes. I'm starting now. Remember, big, bold strokes, guys. And do not ever lift your pen from your paper. Try to go as big and bold as possible. It's okay if you can't see. That's the whole point of this exercise. Remember, and try to remember what we were doing, how to draw features. All right, I'm on my second ear right now. I wonder where you guys are. And don't forget about your necks and your shoulders. Again, big and bold. Try to fill in that space. Don't forget your hair. All right, and now once you're done, you can open your eyes, and only when you are done. Looks pretty crazy, right? Do you want to guys see mine? Totally different. I know it looks super wacky, but I can promise you after we're done, you're going to look back and you'll be like, you know what? This is actually pretty darn cool. And I am proud of myself for what I've done. So I know I can see some of you guys kind of laughing to yourselves. I know it looks super funny. It looks really weird, but it's okay. It's totally fine. That's the whole point. We're trying to learn about the process. Yeah, Lisa! Look at that. Dang, girl. Good job, good job. Okay. So, I think you guys are ready for the final thing. Okay, so now take your next clean sheet of paper. I'm sorry to the trees, but I promise I recycle, so we're okay. This is a little bit big. Hold on. So go ahead and take your sheet of paper, or you can keep practicing. I just gotta prep real quick. Okay. All right, so now I have my sheet of paper. Are we all good to go? You ready? All right. So, like what we did on this side, the blind portrait, that's what we're going to be doing today. But instead of half of it, we're going to be doing on the entire thing. Okay? So, like I always been telling you guys, 1, draw big and bold. Fill the page as much as possible. 2, take your time. This is no competition. There's no need to rush. The winner is always going to be you. 3, make sure to try to draw yourself or draw with the image of yourself in mind. Or if you're drawing for someone else, go for it. And 4, we're not going for perfection. Repeat after me, mentally or physically. We are not going after perfection. We're going for the process. All right, now, let's get our pens out. And we're going to put our pens near our paper. Remember, big and bold. Ready? Now we're going to close our eyes, get set, and draw. Woo! This is crazy. Remember, try to fill the page as much as possible. And your lines don't always have to be straight or angular. You can give yourself some loop-de-loops, you know. It doesn't have to be, like I said, straight or angular. It can be wavy, curly, especially if you're drawing your hair. Ooh, this feels funky. Okay. Oh, I missed my ear. Hold on. Okay, that's one ear down. One more to go. Draw my lips. Drawing lips, remember, it's like drawing an M and then putting a little curve at the bottom. And then we're going to be, I'm drawing my second ear. I wonder where you guys are at. And then I'm going to draw my neck. Remember, have fun with the process. This is no competition. Doesn't have to be perfect. I need to draw my hair too. Gotta go up. And it's okay if you go off the page. You know, that's totally fine. Just don't open your eyes. But you can try to place your marker where you last fell off. Oh crap, I forgot my eyebrows. Don't forget eyebrows, guys. They're like the most important, well, not most important feature, but they're pretty, what's the word? Important, I guess? I don't know. Whoa! Okay, now when you're done, only then when you're done, or you think you're done, after you've done both your eyes, your nose, your ears, your lips, your hair, your neck, your shoulders, and your face, only then can you open your eyes. So remember, take your time. This is no competition. We're going for the process. I'm going to turn up the jazz a little bit. And also try to go and fill the entire space. But once you're done, you're done. You can't touch it. All right. For those of you guys that can see, you don't want to give me a thumbs up, maybe to say if you're finished. Can I see your portraits just in the process of it? Here's mine. Not the prettiest, huh? Here, let's see. How does that look? Does that look like me? Yeah, about? I'd say I don't know, she's pretty pretty. I feel like if we ever had to go to like a competition and be like, who wore it best, I think she'd win. All right. Is everyone good to go? Oops. Can everyone hear the jazz music? Is that too loud? Can people still hear me? Yes? No? Eh? Only you. Okay, cool. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so now that we have our beautiful portraits, no matter what they look like, I'm sure all of you did an amazing job, we are going to decorate it. So, like the example here, you know, some of these lines were drawn after I was done with my portrait, and I'm going to show you guys how to decorate. So, now this is optional. If you guys want to draw additional lines, it's totally up to you. If you don't, you know, that's totally fine. You can just, you can just, you know, chill, listen to my jazz music, listen to my beautiful voice. But what I did to create here is that I took my pen, and then I go from the edge of any edge of the paper, and then I just connect it to myself. So Remember, bold and big. So I'm going to go left side because it's easier for me. I'm just going to draw a curvy line connecting to my hair. And then I'm just going to kind of do that, don't put too many that you like can't see your face anymore. Because remember, this is a self-portrait. You want to try to be able to see yourselves. So, you can draw a couple lines. Kind of cool. It's like you're radiating, right? So go ahead. I have a sheet of paper under my portrait just so, because the ink bleeds. And also, like, when I'm off of my page, I don't want to ruin my clipboard, so I just kind of start from the scratch paper and just... And guys, these lines, they don't have to be, they can be straight if you want them straight like that. Boom, straight. Or you can have some fun with it. You can give some like loop-de-loops. I love me a loop-de-loop. Like that, right? Because right now what we're doing is we're designing your background. We're trying to put something to it. And curves and wavy lines give your portrait a little bit more life to it, so it doesn't look too 2D. We want to try to make it a little bit more alive. But also, if you like straight lines, who am I to stop you, Wavy line. Don't forget your bottom edge too, if you want to fill that space. Or if you want to just connect your shoulders all the way down, just like that. That's what I'm going to do, so it looks a little bit more cohesive, like a person. Or, yeah, like a person. Let's do another loop-de-loop. Ooh, love a loop-de-loop. And then one over here, one over here. Okay. Now, I'm pretty satisfied. Okay, so when you look at it, make sure, like I said, don't draw too many lines just yet. Take a look at it and you're like, you know what? I quite like it. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. That's really fine. Because once we start coloring, you may think like, like say for me, like this part is too big. I don't want to color in this entire part a certain color. So what you can do instead is you can cut it off with a loop or with a wavy or straight line. So like what I did here is I cut off, well, I wouldn't say cut off. I separated my cheek into smaller parts by separating it with a line. But remember, your line has to start along another line and end on a different line. So if you look at it and you're like, you know what, this chunk of my neck looks too much white space, I want to cut it down, you totally can. Just like that. And it's totally optional for you guys if you want to make a lot of small spots, a lot of small chunks, or if you want to leave big pieces, like what I did on my edges. That's totally optional to you. I'm going to give you like a minute or so to kind of fill that out. However way you want it. Like I said, there's loop-de-loops, there's wavy lines, there's straight lines. And it's totally okay if you want to draw over your self-portrait. Remember, we want to try to like not draw it so much that it doesn't look like a person anymore. Let's see. I'll give you like a minute. So, 250, at 250 you can start decorating. Go ahead and draw, let's see. I love loop-de-loops. Oh my god, guys. Like, on roller coasters, loop-de-loops, whew, they are literally my favorite ride. I wish you guys could talk, so we can, like, just talk about roller coasters and fun things. I don't know. Or if you want, like, triangle, like, what we are trying to do here when you guys are making your shapes is try to make as many irregular shapes as possible, right? So, like, look at that shape. What is that? We don't have a name for it, but because it has a curve and a straight line, that's crazy. You're going to break math. But that's what we're trying to do today here, right? We want to try to step out of our comfort zone, really try and get that process, that feeling of when we're creating art and we're, just in the middle of process and nothing, you're not confined to one thing. So go ahead and just decorate it however you want. You have about, I'll give you a couple more seconds if you want to keep decorating. And another thing, if you really want to, you can be super, super out there and be like, you know what? I want to do something super crazy, and that's totally okay. You can take a line. Let's see. I'm going to just start with my hair, and then I'm just going to draw it. I'm just going to do 2 giant loop-de-loops. That's totally okay. Or if you want to be like, you know what? I don't want to be that crazy, but I still kind of want to be crazy. You can go from the edge. You can make a longer line that like intersects and cuts through other lines. That's totally okay. All right. So now when you think you have it done, then we can start decorating. Who doesn't love decorating? Okay. So hands down, guys. Don't try to go too overboard. Remember, we want to still try to keep our faces in it. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with decorating. So the first option is to color your face or your self-portrait the way you look. And that's totally okay. Like I could color my hair black and then my skin, my tan skin, and then draw color my eyes as brown, lips like pink or red, and then I just color that person, and then I can color my background as many colors as I want. That's one option. The second option would be to color it in. If you want to go out of your comfort zone, if you don't, that's totally okay. But this is a time to take that challenge. You can just color randomly. I love the rainbow. I love colors. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I love colors. So I love to colorful things. So I just try to put as many colors as possible on here. And that's your second option. Your third option could be color in like using your favorite color or colors, if that's plural. Or if you just want to use just one color, and that's totally fine, totally up to you. This is your self-portrait, so you have total control over it. And I'm sure you guys are going to be doing great. I can't wait to see these. When you guys are done, I'm so excited. So you can start with crayons, color pencils, markers, any medium you want. That's an art term. If you guys don't know, I'm sure many of you do, but I'll just say it anyway. A medium is what you use to draw. So like, let's say color pencil. That's a medium, right? Because I'm going to draw or color my color pencil. The medium I'm going to create art with. So let's see. You know how crazy it'd be if we met someone with pink eyes? Oh my gosh. That'd be insane. So guys, when you're coloring, I know it's a little silly to say this, but try to stay within the lines. When I was younger, I was a worst colorer. Like I'd always go over the lines and like scribble all over, but I still kind of do, and that's okay. We're still learning. It's still a process. That's my first tip. My second tip is that you want to try to color in to make it as vibrant as possible, right? So when you color in your little section, stay within that line, and also try to make sure there's as little white as possible. See, so you can color it over and over again, like making a couple layers, say like 2 or 3 times, so it's totally fine. So do you see how much this pink pops off against the white? There's a difference. Oh, I don't know if you can see through the camera very well. I can try to use a darker color, but that's one example. And if you're like, you know what, I love this color so much, I'm going to put it over here. And you're like, okay, go for it. You know, I'm going to support you. Whatever you do, just go for it. And then you can keep adding colors. One thing I do want you guys to keep in mind, though, is that when you're adding colors onto your portrait, try to kind of space it out. Because if you have just one giant cluster of just a single color here, you might not be able to see the dark lines too well. So in order for it to contrast or to like show the differences of one another, you want to try to spread out your colors. You know, be generous, but not too generous. Moderation is key. Let's see. Ooh, I do love dark blue. Now I'm going to add that to my background. And so it's always good to have like a scratch piece of paper underneath your portrait. So if you color off the edges, you can just color directly on the scratch piece of paper. And also, we're going to be eco-friendly. Don't forget to like recycle these if you can, if it's possible after this project. Or if you're like, you know what, look at that. That's abstract art with those ink splotches and everything. Wow, that's like the next Jackson Pollock or something. These are really cool artists. You should look them up. But yeah, that's totally up to you guys. And also try to switch in and out between different mediums. So if you're, you know, use color pencils, after a couple colors or so, you can be like, I'm going to try using crayons. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go green. Now, the whole reason why we want to try to use as different mediums as possible is that we want to try to make make your art piece look different, right? So do you see, oh, you guys can keep coloring, up to you. But in my example, you can tell it's very contrasted because there's different textures. Like I'm sure you know the difference between like what a crayon looks like on paper versus a color pencil, right? It's very different. Like crayons are more waxy and it's very hard to like make it more vibrant because you have to keep layering over and over again with the same color. But in terms of like color pencil, like it's a lot thinner. It's easy to color big places with, but like crayons, it's a little harder, and that's totally okay. But that's the whole point of why we're using different mediums, is so we can show, just give it more of a variation on your paper so it doesn't look too flat or too plain. This crayon is nice. I wonder what your guys' favorite colors are. I hear blue a lot. Blue is a good color. There's a lot of different ways you can take blue. And again, guys, there's no wrong answers. So, and this is your self-portrait, so you have total control. Do what you love to do. You know, I love color, so I'm putting color all over the page. But totally up to you. If you want to stick with one color or a couple colors, up to you. Like I said, though, do try to stay within the lines. Because I already crossed a couple lines earlier. That's okay. You know, we're just learning to love the process. We're not going for perfection. And if you guys do have the chance, if you are free and if you just want to learn a little bit more about art, I do highly recommend going on YouTube and just typing in like art color theory or like art vocabulary. Like, because I know a couple of channels that give out super short, like 3 to 5 minute tutorials about like explaining like some art history and what color theory is. And it's really simple and it's really easy to understand. I highly recommend it to anyone who's interested